7 designer bags that I loved but decided not to buy. I'm going to be sharing why I didn't in today's video and now whether or not I regret that decision. Hey everyone, my name is Steph. If you are new to this channel and love all things luxury, you my friend are in exactly the right place because we get it and not everyone does. So make sure you join us by hitting the subscribe button and the bell down below. So this video I saw on Celeste's channel, who I absolutely love. Her energy is incredible. I will link to her channel down below. She did a video on luxury items that she loved but didn't buy and why. And I think we can learn so much from each other by sharing our regrets, luxury purchases that have worked out. And I hope that these videos that I make on this channel specifically help you to avoid making expensive mistakes, get you to your dream designer bag and luxury purchases sooner rather than later, and hopefully saving money in the process. So that is exactly what this video is about. Okay, so let's dive straight in with today's video. The first bag that I did not buy but came incredibly close to purchasing. This was an Hermes Birkin 35. This was black with gold hardware. It was a vintage version of the bag, but it looked absolutely immaculate. And this was in Ardene's leather. Okay, yeah, this was around £6,500. And this was pre-pandemic, so prices have gone up since the pandemic as demand has grown. Obviously with Birkin bags, they are offered to you in store generally when you have shown your love to the brand in the form of purchasing other items, okay, homeware and shoes, etc. Then you might be offered a holy grail Birkin bag. So I was very much looking at the pre-love market. This one came up, I felt like it was the right price. Not my ideal size though, but it wasn't a ridiculous amount of money. This is all in context. This wasn't a ridiculous amount of money for a black Birkin with gold hardware in such a hard-wearing leather that is no longer available. So I didn't make the purchase. I came so close to literally going to pick the bag up and then just kind of backed out of the whole thing. I think the whole like authenticity side of things, even though I'm sure it was absolutely fine, I did a lot of due diligence. I don't know what it is. I think just spending that amount of money on something pre-loved makes me quite nervous. And at that point, I just decided that I think actually I want to go down the route of trying to obtain my dream bag from Hermes themselves. And whether that means going on a journey with them and purchasing some items, I will only ever purchase things that I actually truly love. But I'm hopeful that maybe in the next few years I could possibly be offered a Birkin one day. Who knows, right? I'm glad now. I don't regret this decision. There's a part of me that regrets it in the sense that it was an okay price for a Birkin like this, but I'm glad that I did back out of it because I know after trying on the Birkin 35, it's quite a big bag and I wouldn't really use it that much. A lot of people say they use them as travel bags. I don't think I'd use a Birkin as a travel bag because they are quite heavy bags. I would just use something else that I don't really mind if it's kind of flung about on a plane so much, like a Louis Vuitton canvas bag. They are, you know, super hard wearing themselves. And I have my Keeper, which I hardly ever use because it's too big. And I prefer a little wheel case. So I know a size 30 is probably going to be the size that I prefer and would go for. I would also consider a 25, but 30 is the size that I really do want. So yeah, I'm quite glad that I didn't buy it because now obviously that frees up that amount of money to spend on other bags and hopefully my dream size Birkin one day. Bag number 2. This one haunts me to this very day. It's one of the most beautiful bags that I have ever laid eyes on, so bear with me. If you've watched my Dubai vlog, you will have seen this bag already. This is the YSL Cassandra bag. And it was in a bright green ostrich leather with gold hardware. I saw this for the first time ever in the Dubai Mall, and I literally clocked it on the shelf and I just went straight to it like a magpie. That is how like incredible this bag really is. I chose not to buy it because prices are so inflated in Dubai. Like I think it was about £700 or £500 to £700 more expensive than what it would be if it was in the UK. That is how more expensive it is. This one had scratches inside as well. It was a display model, and they are a lot more expensive than the normal leather version. So it would have cost me nearly £5,000 for this bag. In fact, I think it worked out at £5,200. It would have been my most expensive bag in my collection, and with the scratchers, a display model, not having the time to think about the whole process. I was not going to buy it in the store. I then spoke to my sales associate in London at Harrods, and he said there is one in Marbella that we can get shipped to Harrods for you if you would like one. And I think it worked out at £4,600, something like that, so quite significantly cheaper. But YSL doesn't hold its value so well. And I was kind of just running through in my head like comparisons of bags that I've spent that much money on. My Louis Vuitton Capucines bags were cheaper at the time, and these have like exotic python handles. So one of them does. And also my Chanel Trendy, for example, kind of a similar price. And I just feel like the fashion houses in general, YSL isn't on the same level as Chanel and some Louis Vuitton, purely because the resale value isn't there. These items aren't like incredibly rare, although this ostrich was pretty rare. I don't know, I just couldn't take the plunge on it. I felt like it was just so much for a Saint Laurent bag, even though I absolutely love it. And I do feel like I've seen the Cassandra bag worn, and I do feel like there are some downsides. I'd seen the scratches on the ostrich on the inside of the bag in Dubai, so I know that's going to be wear and tear. And realistically, how much am I actually going to wear that bag? Probably not a whole lot. So I decided to leave it. Do I regret that? I'm still unsure. I'm still unsure. I'm going to keep my eye on the pre-loved markets to see if anyone comes up with this bag in the future. It was really beautiful. Bag number 3 is another one that I tried on in Dubai. This was the Fendi Sunshine tote bag, but this was in the Fendace collection. So this was the collaboration between Fendi and Versace. And it was beautiful. It was the black one with the kind of gold Baroque print on. It was so nice. You can't buy this bag anymore. It was limited edition. I think the one in Dubai was one of the last ones available. I did seriously consider buying this bag. Like, it was the one out of the whole Fendace collection, like the item that I think I liked the most. I think the Fendi Sunshine as a tote bag in general is a fantastic one. You get like a detachable shoulder / crossbody strap, which I think is brilliant. The reason that I decided not to get this is it is quite loud, and I don't know if, like, I would have to be wearing something quite simple to wear that bag. And in general, I'm starting to gravitate towards things that are slightly more understated than in your face. That being said, I still think it was beautiful. But also the main factor is I was like, actually, when am I going to use this? I have some tote bags in my collection that are already severely neglected because now I work from home, I work for myself. I'm not carrying my laptop to and from work. I don't need a big tote bag. I do think maybe if I was still at work, I would consider the bag, but then because it's so loud, I don't know if I'd have actually taken it to a place of work. So there was all these things and it just didn't quite work out, but I do think it was beautiful. But yeah, I don't think that I regret not getting this one. Bag number 4 is one that I first saw on Dale's Addictions channel and I fell in love straight away. It is the Dior, Lady Dior Wicker bag, and this has to be one of the most beautiful Lady Dior bags I've seen. I tried it on at Dubai airport and it was in the dark navy colour. They also do like a cream and gold, which is beautiful, a bright pink, and I think they do like a cornflower blue as well, which is really nice. I tried it on and oh my gosh, was that bag heavy. I could not believe how heavy it was. I thought it would make a great summer bag, really great with like a white flowing dress on my summer holidays, and it was just too heavy. So then I saw they brought the mini one out, which I think is cute, but I didn't buy it because the Christian Dior I think is too big on the tape. Like, they should have made it smaller for the mini bag. It feels like the logo is too big. And I feel like this wicker bag would actually work perfectly in the small size, which does not exist at the moment. So I'm glad, because I came close to buying this bag on the website before I'd even seen it. I'm glad that I tried it first. It was too heavy. And even though I really like the look of it, until it is maybe in the small size, it's one that I won't be buying. And even though it's beautiful, I don't regret not getting it. Bag number 5 is one that I keep looking at and haven't purchased yet. This is the Fendi First bag. I initially wanted this bag. It's my favourite Fendi bag. I don't have any Fendi bags in my collection. It is the one that I think I will add to my collection at some point in the future. But I wanted the small version of the bag and I decided this is the one for me. I can crossbody it, and I just didn't buy it. And the reason is I just don't know. I just wasn't like completely set on which colour to get. And then over time, I've actually started to like the larger size, even though it's like less practical than the smaller one, less easy to crossbody, it's going to be heavier. I just really like the look of it. I love the leather on this bag, like it just looks amazing and so luxurious. So I'm really glad that I did not buy the Fendi first in the small size, because I think I want the medium size now. So I don't regret not buying the Fendi first. It is one that I'm going to add to my collection, I'm sure, very soon, but in a different size. Isn't it interesting how our perception and tastes and just what we think we want kind of changes once we've spent a little bit of time thinking about it? Bag number 6 is probably one of the most beautiful bags I have ever seen. This was a Sequin Chanel 19 bag. Now I've actually seen 2 of these. I have seen a black one in London store and I loved it, but decided it was just a black sequin bag, when would I use it? This, however, was quite different. This was the smaller Chanel 19 bag in like a blue, turquoise blue sequin with silver hardware, which is not, well, it was mixed hardware, but had silver chain on the front. And it was just the most glorious bag, I think. One of the most glorious bags I've ever seen. I tried it on at Dubai airport, and again, the whole issue with it being in Dubai makes it a lot more expensive than being in the UK. It would have been about £5,500 or just under £6,000 for this bag. So again, it would be my biggest bag investment to date, and I'm kind of comparing that to the Birkin level. So for me, I do have 2 19 bags already, which are much more staple kind of colours, more classic colours that will go with a lot more outfits. This sequin bag, I genuinely do still think about it to this day. Do I regret not getting it? I think maybe in years to come, I will regret not getting it, but hopefully there will be more bags like this. I don't have a sequin bag in my collection at all, so it is something that I'm seriously considering, and that has been like the best example of one I have ever seen. So maybe a little bit of regret that I didn't get this one, but I definitely didn't plan to add any more 19s to my collection. I'm happy with just 2 of them, to be honest. I feel like I don't use them enough to warrant a third, but this was so special that yeah, it does play on my mind a little bit. And finally, bag number 7 that I love but have not purchased, and why. This is the Gucci Diana bag. If you've seen any of my recent vlogs in London, Dubai, etc., I try this bag on pretty much every time I go into store, and I try on different colours. So I would quite like to add this bag to my collection, but again, Gucci isn't a brand that I like. Gucci as a brand, but it's not one that I love. Like, it's not a Chanel or a Louis Vuitton to me. I love Saint Laurent more than I quite like Gucci. I just feel like different brands talk to you, different brands are more your taste, and Gucci often isn't the brand that I go to like first and foremost. The Diana bag in the mini size is my favourite bag from Gucci, and initially I wanted the jumbo monogram print Diana. I'm so glad that I didn't get this, because after seeing a lot of the leather versions now and different colorways, like some of the greens are just exceptional with the bamboo handles. They look so nice. I'm really glad I did not get that version of the bag. So I haven't purchased a Diana bag yet. It is one that is on my wish list, but I'm not sure it's like high enough up for me to actually be thinking about seriously considering purchasing it in the very near future. It might be one that I get like down the line and maybe go down the pre-loved route even. But yeah, I like it, but at the minute I don't regret not buying any of them. I'm still on the fence about colorways, and like I said, there are other brands and bags that I think I will buy before I get a Diana bag. Please do get involved in this whole topic and conversation. What bags or any other luxury items have you loved but you didn't buy? Do you regret that decision now or not? Hindsight is always a beautiful thing. I think for me, what is like standing out as a summary of this video is when you find a really unique piece, like the sequin Chanel bag, maybe the YSL Cassandra bag in the ostrich. When you find rare bags like that aren't going to be readily available like all of the time, they are a seasonal piece, you have to kind of jump on them quickly. And I think those are the bags that, for me anyway, are my biggest regrets. Like, I don't really regret the Fendi and the Gucci because I can literally go out today, I can go on the websites and go and purchase them. So I don't regret not making that purchase. It's the ones that you can no longer get that really play on your mind and you do have to seriously think about, but they're often as well some of the most expensive. So you have to just make quick decisions. Am I going to use this? How will it look in my collection? Am I just buying it because I like the bag, or will I actually use it? It is such a hard one, and it depends where your priorities are and where your collection is at, do you think I have made any mistakes by not buying any of these 7 bags yet? Let me know. Now make sure you don't go anywhere, because coming up next, I link my latest video release here for you, and over here we are going luxury shopping in London to see so much eye candy, all the latest from Dior, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, Prada, etc. It is epic. Make sure you don't miss out. Enjoy.